My first.
I know you got some heat.
Oh, I got a little something.
I know you do.
Working on a little something.
Doesn't stop.
Getting back in.
New album?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna send it to B. I'm gonna send it to him now, so y'all could just play it. It comes out in like 3 weeks.
Oh, work.
Just so y'all can get a listen to it. Yo, it's Alchemist.
Oh no.
And yo, should we do the Smokebox?
Let's do that Smokebox. Let's do the Smokebox.
It's gonna get smoky, man.
Let's get extra smoke. Big smoke.
Come on, let's go.
Let's get it.
You smoking?
Come on.
I think I'm ready, man. Just gotta get my gas mask. It's invisible. Oh, remember the ones we were smoking at the video?
Man.
I gotta put you on with my homie Cali Blaze. You met him,
right?
right? You still saw him last night. His hash holes are fucking bomb.
Yeah,
What's poppin'? We doing another smoke box in the year of the Mamba. We got OhNo and my man the Alchemist Gangrene in the house, or in the whip, so to speak. We're about to smoke it up. Welcome to another smoke box for BREALTV. I'm Dr. Green Thumb, aka Be Real, and guess what? I got Gangrene up in here, Alchemist and OhNo, and we about to blaze up this Willotto on some funky fill tips and chop up game. Welcome once again.
Thank you, brother.
My brother.
Good to see you again, always.
What's up, man? Good to have you in here, oh.
The funniest uncle we could ever have.
Hey, man, I want to tell you off the top, y'all be doing that classic hip-hop work. You disgust me, right? That shit front to back. Front to back. The bar work impeccable. The beats fucking amazing. I mean, it's like a solid masterpiece of hip hop, man. And fuck, man, as a fan of both y'all and as a fan of hip hop, thank you for that, because that shit is everything.
Good look at it. That was a while ago now, right? Jesus, time flies.
Yeah, I had not talked to you about it.
Yo,
and I had to like give you the flowers for that, because y'all did some amazing work on that one.
Yo,
man.
Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Oh,
like, that was a big deal when he gave us the verse. Like,
yeah,
Sean P on the joint. I was like, yeah, and he passed like shortly, like around that time. I think, Sean Price, like, I feel like he doesn't get mentioned enough nowadays with the era of rap that's flourishing now that we're all doing.
Yeah,
he kind of was the precursor to it.
Yeah, he kind of influenced.
Of course, he came and everything. All the greats.
He influenced a lot of it for sure.
Yeah.
And you're right. He doesn't get enough flowers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But he should.
Yes.
Just the way Dilla does.
Absolutely.
He should have one too.
Sean Price, man.
Yeah, great. How does the vibe come together when you guys work in the studio? I mean, like, do you guys isolate, or do you have like homies there vibing out?
With Gangrene?
Yeah.
I mean, Gangrene, we always like, it's remote operations pretty much. Yeah. Like, he got his studio, I got mine, and we even the way when we first started, it was like, he I sent him a beat with a verse, and he sent it back to me. I was living in New York at the time, in like a half hour. And I was like, oh shit.
That's that shit.
Let me send you a beat now. And then he sent me a beat with another verse, like touche. And then it was kind of like,
so it just went back and forth.
And it was like a sparring partner. That's how we started working, because O is like insane with beats and rhymes.
Yeah.
So, like, incredible, and always had me on my A game. And it was just a part in my career where I was like, this was, I forget, late 2000s, going into 2010. But like fast forward to now, we're 3 albums deep, and it's like, we developed like a formula and a sound that we never talked about. It was like, it just developed when we were like making records. And
I think it's also a vibe that y'all create, like from that first album to now, like having that formula and that back and forth, like momentum shift, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know how it is when you do sessions separate places, sometimes it takes a minute to get work back. But when you're getting the feedback back that fast, it's like motivating, right?
This man is speed. Like, he is a video game master. So he approaches beat making like a video game.
Right.
Like, how much time we got? I'm gonna
tilt this bitch.
Yeah. 3 beats in 10 minutes just to, to set the game on advance.
How long does it usually take y'all to put an album together?
I mean, if we're really cutting away, within 2-3 weeks, we'll have a good batch.
How crazy is that, where it used to be like months, sometimes a year?
It's a blessing, man.
Motherfuckers get it done a lot faster.
How the old studios changed everything. You know, remember the early days?
True that.
When we would go, you know, doing the hooligan shit, we
Yeah.
used to go to the Image, and
Image.
big studios, and had to wait for the PO to get cleared, and the equipment
Yeah.
to get rented.
That's when I learned right there, and I'm sure you pretty much learned this too sometime after, is pay for your own sessions.
For sure.
Don't wait on the fucking record company to approve a budget. Just get the work done while you have it in your fucking head. And if you can afford to like invest in that studio time, go do it. You own the music at that point.
100%.
They got to pay you for it. You'll get it back if you know you get the whatever deal you're looking for and shit like that. At that time, you couldn't really be independent in the way that you can now.
It wasn't a way.
But it was better that you got the work off than to wait and to wait and shit like that. Remember we got kicked out of Image recording? Or we left. We left because of Vince stank-ass Neil.
Wow, was that what it was?
We were smoking up in the front while doing our sessions. Because if you remember, we were doing the hooligan sessions up in the front room, which
Yes.
is the tracking room.
In the back room, you guys
And
were working.
Vince Neil was mastering or mixing his record, and this fuckface complained that we were smoking too much weed up in, like, who would have thought the guy getting coked up in the back and, you know, like slamming beers like it's no, and whiskey like it's no tomorrow, would complain about some weed heads
Damn, Vince.
getting weeded out up in the front. Damn, Vince. Shame on you. Made us leave
Those were good times.
Image recording. I think that's what, I don't know where we bounced to after that, whether it was, I mean, I think we did a couple of different places. But
Yeah, I remember one night when you ate mushrooms on an orange.
You
Cut an
brought
orange
'em.
in half, like shrooms, and we, you know, turn out the lights and everything was lit up on the boards.
Oh,
it was a fun
Oh
time.
no, let me tell you how lit this guy was. I mean, he is 13, 14 years old bringing me shrooms and bags of weed. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Fun times, man.
That was crazy. But they were fun times, man, like working on that album. I feel like, you know, although there was tracks on there on that first Hooligans album that could have came out and slammed, like, you know, Baker Boys and Lethal did their thing.
For sure.
Even QD3, I think he did
Got a
something.
couple on there too.
But Tommy Boy was reluctant. But, you know, I feel like that was meant to happen because you shifted after that and got into
Right.
production. And it gave you a whole different insight
Well,
on writing tracks, right?
you had the ASR 10.
Yeah.
You remember you were living in Venice. You had the ASR 10 in your garage. And that was a pivotal point for me because Hooligans kind of didn't happen, but then I stayed hanging around you.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay close to the fire, and you were like, you know, come fuck with me. That's when I just started doing beats.
Yeah.
And Muggs would come over, and then this is right before they started doing Temples of Boom album.
Yeah.
And it was like he saw me working in the ASR in the garage and was like, oh, the little homie. And it was like, that's where my relationship with Muggs started. Because it was just me and Beef, you know, like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and Jay once in a while.
Of course.
Jay Turner,
Then
rest
Jay
in peace.
came in, of course, God bless, man. And he would come in, and then I would go to Muggs' house. Remember, he had the
Yeah.
house in Nichols Canyon.
Yeah, we did most of the Temples of Boom recording there.
And I learned so much those years. Like, I mean, that was just like my early stages where, you know, Muggs wouldn't let me do the drums. He would be like,
You find a sample, but he was doing the drums.
He had to do the drum. He didn't like the way the drum sounded in the ASR because it was kind of
Yeah.
tinny. The SP was grit.
Yeah, the SP, and I think he was using an MPC at that point
Yes.
too, right?
Yep, maybe a 60.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was, you know, those were the early
The
days.
ASR, I could never like get on it. Like
It was yours.
It was mine, but I never fucking learned it. I got down with my MPC, and,
Right.
and that's what I fucked with. But I didn't necessarily get down with that
ASR,
fucking
yeah.
ASR. Where you and Turner mastered
Yeah,
that
Jay was
shit.
nasty with it.
You
Yeah.
two were the guys that I knew that like fucking totally flipped that shit. What are you using these days? You still fucking with the ASR? I doubt it, but
I switched to 2000 in the, like mid 2000. Did wet wipes for camera. It was the first one I did when I switched up, and then now I'm on the 2500, and I'm like I mess with the new stuff too, but I just love that machine. I have the most fun with it. You know, and so I like the sound of it. You know, it's kind of like it's warm, but it doesn't have the sonics of the new shit. Like
Yeah,
if you're
true
using
that.
Ableton or Logic, your shit is just knocking because the RAM coming out of a computer
You gotta go through that with all the shit you're using, right? What do you use? No.
I use like Reason, Logic, MPCs, Nico, Open Labs, Nico, just pretty much everything.
Doing all that
Yeah,
shit.
scientist.
What did you start with first? Were you on your pen game first or production? Or doing both at the same time?
Both at the same time. And it was like Madlib, my mom had got this Korg DS10 sampler. And Madlib had got some kind of little sequencer with it. So like while he was like, soon as he would leave the house, like I would be right up in there, like messing with just everything.
Little brother messing with all the
so
buttons and
he
shit.
couldn't stop me. I was fucking up all his equipment.
It's like Step Brothers. Who touched my fucking drum machine? Hey, but that's what opened it up for you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey man, that's everything, man. Hey, if y'all want to check more of this out, go to www.BREALTV and check the rest of the Smokebox from there. Sorry, YouTube. Man, like, what are y'all looking at as motivation these days? Like, because, I mean, you know, like, there's a lot of garbage out there, but there's a lot of gems, too. You just kind of got to, it's almost like old school crate digging now. You know, you got to find shit. Or someone's got to tell you about it. Like, usually, you know, that's the way it used to be, where somebody was up on game. Hey, did you hear that new fucking album by Whoop-De-Wop? And you're like, nah. And it seems like that's still around because, like, there's just so much shit comes out on Tuesdays and Fridays now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like double and triple times the music, right?
You could be left to your own devices and just kind of surf. It was cool back in the day when there was radio shows.
Yeah.
At least even that, when there was like good radio shows you could trust, and you could listen to Stretch and Bob or listen to certain things and like trust their taste. But rap was so much smaller at the time. Yeah. Now it's like I have friends. There's certain friends I have that they're just tapped in. I don't know how. And when they come over, yo, play me some new shit. And, you know, we all have a friend like that.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, it's Earl.
Yeah. And you got to pay attention to those guys because, like, they usually come with that shit that's like, oh, okay. And if you're making art still, like if you're doing music still, it's important to know. Yeah. So that you know where you're going to fall into that.
Yeah. And it's so much. But, you know, like our friends are so great. I can't front. Like, think, like, we were talking about growing up. Like, think about what that was like growing up with Madlib as your big brother.
Yeah.
You knew he had to be nice. Like,
yes.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Like, that his brother was Madlib. You know what I'm saying? So, like, our friends, like, people like Madlib, Rock Marcy, you know, I could name 1,000 people that are, like, just flourishing at this time where I'm like, I think it's a good time. You got to sift through and find what's your bag.
Absolutely.
But, man, the freedom now that you could, you know, put your music out and, like, follow your idea through from A to Z, like, damn, you know how many wheels had to turn back in the day? We had to have the meeting with the art department, meet with the video department. To do, now we have our own team. Yeah. The homie does the art, you get the guy to shoot. You could literally make a song. Me and you can make a song. We can do a Gangrene song with people tonight, shoot it tomorrow, and on fucking Monday, it's streaming.
And be setting the wheels off.
And now that's not always, I think, the best thing to do, but the freedom to do that is so appealing that I even see big artists now, like, doing shit like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have the middleman, aka Big Brother, putting the red tape all around you, like, to make it difficult to put out this record because you know they're looking to get certain numbers. They're looking at what other artists are coming out in the time you're trying to come out. Like, we're gonna have to compete with this and contend with this, and then, you know, oh well, we feel like we need to push back a month because so and so's coming out and they're just gonna fucking eat up the air in the room, you know what I mean? 100. Whereas, like you said, you know, in an independent platform, you can do whatever the fuck you want and you don't got those worries. You don't necessarily have the resources that you would have with the big bank.
For sure. Which is what it is. It's big bank. It's a loan.
It's the big bank with the worst interest rates in life.
A fancy loan.
If you know, you're better off if you're gonna go get a major deal. It's like we said earlier. You're better off fucking making the album before you even take it in there.
And you know, the young guys, they know that shit now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, the cat's out the bag. They, like, a young guy can just see. It's pretty obvious to them, like, you know. But I mean, to each his own. Everybody has a different lane. But I love the freedom that we have now.
Yeah, same.
It took a long time to get here. I had to take all these steps, you know, to get to where now it's like, okay, like Gangrene, I called, you know, with last record we did was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
And I just hit him and said, yo, we've been cooking off and on, but I felt
Time
like,
for another one.
and now I have AOC now. So I have my label and lane now. All our other records were through a different company. So it's like, I felt confident to call my brother and say, yo, I think I could hold weight and we could do this. And, you know, all the creative we're doing, the art, the concepts, the merch pack, the videos, is gold watches here. We're gonna shoot right after this, you know what I mean? So we just assembled our original team and did it ourselves, and I feel good about it. Like, you know,
Hey, that's the best way, man. You know, to be in control of your vision. A lot of artists ain't in control of their vision, especially back in the early days, because most artists only thought of the music, right? They didn't think of the visual.
no.
They were just happy to be getting on, even with a shitty deal. I mean, us included, because like if people knew what our first deal was, it was like fucking ridiculous. But we made it work. But if we had the freedom then that we had now, I mean,
Man.
who knows
Like
what you make, because a lot of those artists in that time didn't have the ability to go off grid and say, well, you know what, fuck this label, I'm gonna put out my shit, because really it cost a lot of money back then to put out any of these records. These days it don't cost shit. You got a vision, it ain't gonna cost you that much to put out. If you're gonna say fuck it, you know, if the labels don't see it, I'm just knock it the fuck out.
just go.
Yeah.
Just go. It's a freedom, and it feels good after all the years of not being able to do that.
Oh, man.
You know,
I could tell you, like, you know, like back in the day, you know how these collaboration albums happen, right? Like how you called OhNo and you just fucking made it happen, right? Yeah. Back in the day when you're signed to a fucking major label, and even to this day, you know, like if you try to make something like that happen, they put the fucking squash on that.
Sure.
If one artist is on contract for this over here, I mean, I remember I was having that issue with the Kush project when we were still signed to Sony. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like they weren't gonna let me go do that record on Maverick or Roadrunner or wherever
No way.
that shit was gonna land. That shit had to be on Sony in order for it to be okay with them, right? And with let's just say Steftone, who was on Maverick, which at the time was Warner Brothers, they're like, fuck no, that's fucking Steftone from the Deftones. We need that album over here. Right. And all that bullshit starts, and before you know, we can't put this shit out. But in this day and age, you know, if you're not signed to a major label, and these days, major labels are probably cool with that because they realize maybe it brings back traffic
somehow
to the, you know, whatever last album or current album they may have out. You know, you see more collaborations happening these days is what I'm saying than you did back then. And I think it's great because you see these different combinations of very fucking talented artists getting down, man. And it just makes our, you know, the culture and the music just bigger, I think. Yeah. Like the shit y'all are doing, man. I mean, motherfuckers love it. Because it's that hip hop shit.
Well, we came up
and y'all hit them with something that they didn't expect.
Fucking around. Like, I think even you were mentioning the visual aspect of it too. And, you know, like we used to get treatments at the end of the album. You work on a record for 2 years and you get treatments from some random people who don't know you.
Who don't know the
interpret
music.
your song. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes bad, but it'll never really be. Because when we make music, we have something in mind.
There's a story to it.
The time of day, maybe it's not all specific, but it's always something.
Right.
And it's like, there's an artist, Brownsville Kai. I don't know if he's one of my favorite artists. And I remember when I first saw when Rock Marcy showed me his shit at first, and I'm like, he showed me a video, and it was like, so the beat, the rhyme, the visual, everything was so good. And it was like, he was like, yo, he made the beat, he shot his own video, and he wrote the rhyme. I was like, damn, this is like the purest form of art.
Yeah.
Like it's a direct
His
expression
vision.
all the way to the finish
to the
line.
end,
So
yeah.
you see what he's trying to give you. And that shit fucked me up. I was like,
That's
wow.
the cool shit about this
Yeah.
generation of new artists is that like they can do that whole fucking thing. Like, you know, we were programmed for it to be this one way.
Big team, big things. This
Right.
is how it goes.
And we had to we had to pop out of that box in order to keep existing, because that shit is no longer what it is. You know, you got to be able to pop shit off and be open to new things. But I'm saying, you know, we were conditioned the way that the fucking the industry was at the time.
Yes.
Whereas these new artists aren't conditioned to that particular shit at all. It's like it's all open to them, and if you got the vision, I mean, all them blown out ass video budgets they used to give artists, like fucking $500,000 sometimes, $250,000, whatever. You could do those videos for fucking a fraction of that.
Mobb Deep spent $1 million. It's Mine's video with Nas. $1 million. $1 million. I'm sure Steve Rifkin can verify that. $1 million.
And we
that was that era.
We didn't
hype, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because realistically, they want to spend on all the fucking the cameras, the proper cameras, the film
Of course.
when it was filmed.
Yeah, that was filmed.
Yeah, that was all filmed, so it was mad expensive, and you know, like the crew, everybody on that crew was expensive. But these days, motherfuckers are like doing a video for like at the least fucking $1,000, $1,500.
And I'm like,
It's crazy.
you know, if somebody comes over to the studio and they're like, yo, I want to show you this new artist, right? If they just play a song off the phone or go to SoundCloud and just play audio, I'm always like, let me see the video.
What's the
What's the
video?
latest thing? Or let me see, because if you have a video, I feel like you're taking it more serious.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
you're
it's an
invested in the
investment.
song. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
At least let me see, because the visual is so important now. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
because the vision is everything, man.
want to see? Yeah,
You want to see it.
yeah. So I get it.
Who's inspiring you guys right now, aside from the shit y'all doing together? I mean, because you guys obviously inspire each other, but outside of that, who you fucking with right now?
What you been tapped into? Oh,
Honestly, like, I'm not too inspired by music. I'm more inspired by games to make music.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's like, that's it. And I'm making games, so like shit, I'm just doing it all. So I'm in a cave, like in a zone, so like I don't even know what's going on in the outside.
Right.
yeah.
Sometimes isolating to focus in on your own shit
Yeah.
is necessary. Yeah. Because you know you got to fucking put out the distractions and all shit like that.
Yeah.
How about you, Al?
Yeah, like, of course I listen to so much music, but I definitely get a lot of inspiration from like things like architecture, or like sometimes or art. in
More of a
general.
visual.
Yeah, like I get inspired by the shit that I can't do. You know what I mean? When I see like some crazy art, it's usually art, or you know, a lot of different art, or architecture, or yeah, shit like that, or a lot also like of friends who do good.
Yeah, when you
I have
hear
friends doing good inspires me too. Like I love seeing my friends just flourish and become bigger and better, and that always inspires me too. Like just simple shit like that. But you know, we sample, so I'm just skipping a needle over just every genre of music every day. So like I could just pick any style or year
and just go.
and be like, yo, yeah, I've been listening to this shit today, and I'm stuck on this right now. It's so endless. It's like, you know, when they be like, all the samples are used, and it's, you know, to me, I laugh at that because I know it's never ends. It's like, you know, yeah, it's just I'm still having a lot of fun just making the shit that we always did. And you remember me as a kid, it's really, I laugh because I'm doing the same shit I did when you met me, like shortly after.
Yeah.
When I, you know, 15, 16, and it's like me and Evidence, I always say like, yo, we didn't know back then like that we would do this far down, but we really do the same shit.
How about y'all motherfuckers are legends?
But
How about that?
shit, I'm still a young homie chilling with you. I was just telling a story when I hung with you and went to the hood. Like when you took me to 89 Central, I was just telling somebody that story yesterday. But I'm the same little kid who was just inspired. You know, I was always wide-eyed and I wanted to be down bad, like, you know, be around greatness. Like really, that shit spun my whole life. Because once we toured when I was 15, that was it.
That was it.
I've followed that path since.
You knew exactly what you were gonna do.
Bro, any kid goes on tour in '93 with Cypress Hill, that's gonna fuck you up. I went to school after that. I went to college, but I was like, nah, I want to figure out how to do this shit again. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, C-, oh no. I fucking took this guy to the hood I used to gang bang in, you know what I mean, before I got into the music. Straight blood neighborhood. Everybody was out this day. It was a summer day. And it was like, you know, grimy. And they see me pull up with young Al, bro.
Dog.
They're like, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, I want to show him what this shit is so that he don't never find himself in a situation, you know.
It was as real as, yo, there's one detail I'll never forget. When we pulled up in the street, there was a cat flat that had been freshly ran over.
Just freshly flattened.
And the kids were playing there, and then one of the homies was screaming, somebody get the shovel and clean the cat out of here. The kids are playing around it. That was like the first image I saw, and I was like,
it was very real. And that was the
15.
message, so that he don't get drugged by somebody, you know, like, because you know how it is in LA, man. Some motherfuckers don't be living in the hood, but they want to try to act crazy and like loke up and shit like this, right? And I knew you'd probably run into motherfuckers like that, so I wanted to show you what it was so that you never go there.
but yo, like, I don't know, like, I think a lot of people don't know because of what you became and what you represent. You were a straight gangbanger. Be Real was in a gang, a full-on, got stabbed. Like, people know the story, but
Yeah.
you were, it's crazy because,
Yeah.
you know, your image is not, you know, you represent, you know, positive things, but Be Real was
Yeah,
from the set.
I did. I was. You know, I felt crazy taking you there, but like I had to take you there so that you saw it for yourself and like, no,
Listen.
this ain't the shit.
When I met you, it was Afro, Smoke, Be Real. I had a different respect for you that day when I saw how you were out there with your homies over there from the hood. I was like, hey, B, this, you know, because, and you know, everybody knew that there was a gang element to Cypress Hill, but you guys never really rapped
Yeah,
about
no, it wasn't.
it. You know, but, you know, it's like coming up in that era in LA. I was just saying this. Everything had a gang. After like NWA and stuff, like it was like you guys were not gangster rap, but you were from more. It started to change, like Far Side, Freestyle Fellowship,
Right,
Brown.
right.
It was not a lot, you know, because later Dilated came and Jurassic, but
Yeah,
like everything was gang.
it was all like gangster rap.
Yeah, for a brief time. Like,
Everybody was trying to more or less sound like NWA.
Yeah.
and you know,
yeah.
we did something slightly different, and fortunately, you know, like you said, Far Side and all those guys that came after it changed it, and there was more hip hop here in LA than just gangster rap.
Yes.
Yep.
I think Freestyle Fellowship really
Yes.
was the ones, they really had it first. It just never was commercial, but I think when I trace it back and try to figure, because early on you had Uncle Jams, you had stuff like LA Dream Team, and you had like party type rap.
Party driven shit.
Yeah, that wasn't really gang. They might have been gang related, but they weren't really rapping about it.
Ice-T as well.
Ice-T, yeah.
Prior to, yes. But then it was like, okay, then, you know, I always try to figure how did we all come about, you know, because we grew up listening to Del, you know, the funky, Del was not from LA, but his first album did a lot for us. Being Evidence, like, I wish my brother George was here. Those beats, the rhymes, like, really helped us. And Souls of Mischief, all of them.
How did you feel when Pete Rock put up that Hooligans video
Oh my God,
on
he's
his
such a
Instagram?
I love Pete, man. It's funny, yeah, people see that shit and trip out. Every couple of years, people rediscover it.
Yeah.
We had a good time that day.
Oh, that shit was
Sliding on the
crazy.
ice bricks.
Ice blocking in the cemetery, right? It was a cemetery, or was it a
Zoo.
park?
It was the old zoo.
It was the old zoo. That's right.
The
People
cages.
used to ice block over here in Los Angeles, which is getting a block of ice and going to the top of a hill and sliding down on that ice, taking your chances. And, you know, kids over here used to go to the cemeteries because a lot of our cemeteries, you know, got these crazy ass hills. And, you know, and then there was the zoo, the LA Zoo, right?
That was fun, man.
Yeah, crazy time, man. Hey, what are you guys dropping? Or did you just drop?
We just rolled out the first thing. We got Gold Watch. You know, Jason Goldwatch always does our visuals.
That's right, you guys are going to go do a video.
He's like the unofficial member. He's always done the visuals for us. So we got back with him and we made a little series, like a little audio visual series of just mashup craziness. And now we're shooting some videos too. But, you know, we're getting ready to drop the album in like a couple weeks, I think. Like 3 weeks or something like that. But yeah, you know, we're just cooking and just having fun, really. Like,
You could name him Jason Gang Watch
Yes, you could.
or Jason Green Watch. Either way, it works, right? As third member,
Yeah, he's wild.
he's wild.
guy.
Salute. So
He has horrible tattoos, but he's a really great
True. That's not a lie.
Horrible tattoos.
Word up, man. I want to thank y'all for sitting in the box and getting down with us here. Oh no, first time in the box, right? Hell yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah.
did it.
First of many times, my friend. And you did great.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people be nervous and shit up in here, man. But I want to thank y'all, man. You know, we're brothers for life. You already know this.
Love
And
you, bro.
I celebrate everything you do, man. And, you know, I'm going to keep celebrating you because I know you got more work to do. Word up. You guys want to let them know where to find you?
Where we at? Oh,
Shit, OhNo the Disrupt.
yeah. And I'm just Alchemist on everything.
That's right.
Come get with us.
Alchemist on everything. Word up. This has been another Smokebox. Make sure you like this shit, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, get down with my peoples. Alchemist and OhNo, Gangrene, all day. All right? Keep smoking that good. Take care of yourself. No booth. We did it. We survived, Javi Lopez.
He's alive! Real air. It's like drinking a glass of water. Air water. It's called a weed sauna. This is a weed sauna right there. Just got fresh. This is a spa. This is Be Real Spa Services.
OhNo got baptized. You know what I'm saying? That was the baptism.
My bro.
Fresh air. Shout out to my brother Be Real. Come on, dog. Be Real TV. Be Real TV.
Got the heart of a lion, soul of a titan, mind of a genius, fly with the heighten. All your senses are senseless, resistant, relentless. It's what they call you when your grind is endless. Let's get this.
They say I'm psycho. I move weight like lipo. Got a big crib like Michael. Out the window with a rifle. My wrist game on light show. I'm backstage with white hoes. I got pre-rolls in that red cup. That's key lime. Don't like those.
Got a full pack and we move that. Too aggressive, better pull back. Weight heavy, gotta run ready. My game steady, but you knew that.
I'm too on and my crew strong. Big burn.